Good evening, folks. This is Mike Bartz. You fighting CPS with Mike Bartz. Tactics, tricks, and traps of CPS. But anyways, it's what 7:04 p.m. In North Carolina. That's where I'm at. I'm in North Carolina. Hope everybody's doing well. Just remember this show, I'm not an attorney. I don't pretend to be one. I do not try to give any kind of legal advice. And if I do, just tell me shut up and ignore it, because I'm not trying to give legal advice at all. All I really want to do is I just want to get the word out about how to defeat these evildoers. And that's CPS or DSS here in North Carolina. They go by all different kinds of initials across the country. They pretend like they're different people, but they're not. They're all the same people. Yeah, they're just all tricksters and con artists and hustlers. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad to be back. It's been a minute. It's been a long minute. As most of the people that know are familiar with me, I had brain surgery. And I attempted to go back to work. Hey, C Viper, what's up, brother? But I attempted to go back to work, and it did work out. I know, Corey. I remember you. I remember your ID, brother. I attempted to go back to work, and it didn't work out. Lo and behold, people don't want you driving their vehicles or manning their equipment when you're having seizures. So they sort of like said, no, thank you, or thank you, but no, thank you. So I'm unemployed again. So anyways, thanks to Mr. Davis and crew, I'm back. Hope me and my daughter had a great Christmas. Actually, I had the flu for Christmas, so I didn't get to see my daughter. I was in the hospital for Thanksgiving. I had a stroke, a mini stroke, and then I had the flu on Christmas. And honestly, I haven't had the flu that bad in a long time. Thought I was going to die from that. I mean, it was nasty and gnarly. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't get to see my daughter for Christmas, but I did get to see her for New Year's. I had her for New Year's. It's good to get those hugs, and it's good to get that loving. For those of you who are not getting it, my heart bleeds for you. I've been there. They took my daughter from me and my wife, and kept her for 6 months, 8 months. It was the most torturous thing ever happened in my life. But anyways, I just wanted to just basically get back in touch with everybody and let everybody know that I am alive. I'm not kicking. I'm doing well. My health is a lot better. It's a couple setbacks, but other than that, but yeah, my daughter, the midget, I call her the midget because I swear to God, she ain't grown a bit. She's still the tiniest thing. But then again, I'm a good sized guy. I mean, I'm 6'7", 350 pounds. So I guess anybody would pretty much be a midget at that point. But she's still so tiny. And folks, do not give up fighting for your kids. If you're in the middle of fighting for your kids, do not give up. Do not stop, because those arms around your neck are just worth every bit of fight that you can muster. Just don't stop. Don't stop. Whatever you do, keep on fighting. Keep on putting CPS against the wall. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's talk about CPS and some of the things that they do. First and foremost, let me just tell you, CPS is not law enforcement. You do not have to be intimidated by them. You do not have to be scared by them. They talk a good show. They can be intimidating. They can push you. They can push you around. Gina, I have no legal information or no legal help for you out in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I wish I did, but if you contact me on my Facebook page, I think I'm attached to I think I'm attached to this somehow or another. But if you can reach out to me at NC, that's November Charlie, Bartz, my last name, Bartz, Bravo, Alpha, Ralph, Tango, Zulu, Bartz, North Carolina, Bartz, NC Bartz at outlook.com. Email me and I can try to get my feelers out and reestablish some of those connections and see if we can get you some help out there. But yeah, I just don't have a list right here in front of me. I can't help you. I'm sorry. But anyways, let's talk about some CPS tricks and tactics and their little bullshit. Oops, sorry, Grayson, didn't mean to cuss. But anyways, do not be scared of these people. They are nobody. They do not answer. Just don't get involved with them. Just do not answer the door. You do not have to answer the door. You're not doing anything illegal by not answering the door. I don't care what state you're in. Just do not answer the door. Do not get involved. They're going to say, well, don't you want to hear these allegations? No, you don't want to hear the allegations because most of them are BS anyways. And they're just going to, their whole game plan is to get in your door. I don't know what their fetish is with getting in the door, but their fetish is getting in your door, your front door. For some reason, they just get their jollies on getting through your front door and getting into your home. I don't know what it is about these freaks, but they like that kind of stuff. And I'm not one to judge. I mean, you're talking to the king of spank and tickle. I mean, I'm not going to judge nobody but what gets their jollies. I mean, I don't care. Don't judge. And I will not judge. To each their own. But anyways, these people just go to the extreme of it. I mean, they just seem so excited when they get in your house. I don't know why it is, but that's their thing. So don't let them in your house. Don't answer the door. You don't have to talk to them. And for the love of God, if you do talk to them and you listen to the allegations and they try to talk you into different programs and things that they can do to help you and your family. I don't care if it's domestic violence. I don't care if it's drugs. I don't care if it's mental issues, suicide. I don't care what it is. They're going to come up with all these programs to help you. Jeff Glazer, I hope you do. Jeff Glazer says, I decided to run for the county sheriff of Cass County, Michigan. Then I can actually hold them accountable for what these criminals have done through CPS and DHS and the court system. Jeff, brother, bless you, brother. I'm from Michigan, born and raised in Michigan. I don't know exactly where Cass County is, but I will try to get you all the support there that I can possibly get you, brother. But yeah, if you become sheriff, become a constitutional sheriff. Just know that you're there for the people and the people are there for you, and protect these people from these fools. And I mean, and folks, my daughter, it was substantiated. My daughter was neglected while in foster care. It was substantiated, investigated by another county, and it was substantiated. I've got the documentation, substantiated that she was neglected. Now, to the extreme of neglect, I can't speak on that. I don't know. All I know is that my daughter was less than 2 years old, and on my very first visit with my daughter after the initial DSS taking my daughter, my very first visit, I went to change her diaper. Like I said, she's less than 2 years old. Went to change her diaper, and there was a thumbprint, and I swear it was the size of my thumb, a thumbprint next to her vajayjay. And I fell apart. I did. My wife fell apart and started screaming investigation. Well, we finally got the investigation. Long and short of it is it took them 8 months or 6 months to figure out what happened, but they substantiated it. They found that that she was neglected while in that foster home. Now, get this: they turn around and put more kids back in that foster home after they removed my child. And yes, they removed my child and sent her to out of county foster home, 3-4 hours away. And then turn around and put more kids in that foster home that neglected my daughter. But yeah, so the sheriff's department, I mean, nothing against the police down here in North Carolina, but they're so full of shit down here. I mean, their eyes are brown. I mean, they talk the game. They talk a good game. So if you can become sheriff up there in Michigan, just remember the people and remember why you're there and the oath that you take. Just whatever you do, just remember the oath. But anyways, back on topic. Here in North Carolina, especially here in Gaston County, North Carolina, where I'm from, they have this thing called a safety plan. And the first thing they try to do is get somebody in the household to sign this safety plan. Because once they get somebody to sign the safety plan, they got you by the short hairs, because this safety plan has cute little clauses in it. And there's one little clause in there that says that this safety plan can be revoked at any time. For any reason, this can be revoked. And then it has little parentheses, see bottom of page. So you go to the bottom of the page, and it just tells you, if you want to revoke this, you got to sign this and send it to somebody. But it doesn't tell you to go back up to that paragraph, because the rest of that paragraph says, if you fail to notify or follow proper procedures in changing this safety plan, then basically it says that DSS has the right to take your child from you. So you're basically signing your child over to DSS via safety plan. Now, long story short, and I know you all don't care about my business, but the allegations were domestic violence against me. Now, were they substantiated? No, all the cases were dismissed. All the charges were dismissed. All that stuff was dismissed. Excuse me. So no, none of it's substantiated. But they had that signature on that paperwork from my wife saying that if she changed anything, that without their permission, they would take her. Jeff Glazer, I don't know if they're issuing warrants to remove people's children. I think they're just issuing court orders. I don't think there's warrants being issued for children. But that, I mean, I could be wrong. Michigan's Michigan, North Carolina's North Carolina, but I could be wrong. But whatever you do, brother, just become sheriff and make it work, and just do what you say you're going to do, and honor your word and honor your oath. But back to the safety plan. Do not sign the safety plan. Do not sign anything. Do not sign anything that CPS puts in front of you. I'm here to tell you, folks, I did not sign a damn piece of paper. I wouldn't even sign my name to get into the building. I refused. I don't sign anything. And I still got my daughter back after 6 months, 8 months. So, I mean, and that's just the bottom line. They're going to keep your kids for X amount of months, and that's it, because of the money that's coming in. They need to drain that wallet, so to speak. So they're going to keep your kids a minimum of 6 to 8 months and upwards of. I mean, I've got friends that I talk to on a regular basis that have been dealing with the CPS for years, and I'm talking 2, 3, 4 years. The friends across the street from me, Chris and his wife, have been dealing with CPS for what, 8 years now. I mean, it's ridiculous, folks. They're there to, it's just a money thing. Don't take it personally. But don't get involved with these folks. If you can avoid getting involved with them from the start, just stay away from them. Just stay away from them. Don't get involved. Don't sign any safety plan. Don't sign any documents whatsoever they put in front of you. If you need their services like food stamps or housing assistance or mental assistance or mental health assistance, go seek that in their facility separate of this situation. Don't let them set you up, because once they set you up, it's like a mandatory reporting. So they'll throw you under the bus in a heartbeat. All right. So just go get all the services you need, but separate of the situation that you're in. That way CPS doesn't have anything to do with it. Another worrisome thing that bothers me to no end, and this is just my opinion, this is just something that irritates the snot out of me, that CPS or DSS or any of those initials that they think they're CIA or FBI or something like that can go to a school, pull your child out of class, take them into a empty room with just them and their child, and literally have your child stripped down, take pictures of that child. And after doing that, or before they do that, they question the child like they're criminals. They question the child about their families. I think it's criminal. I think that's wrong. It irritates the hell out of me. I don't know why, but it just bothers me. And my daughter's not even old enough to answer questions yet. Well, she don't respond to me, let alone anybody else. Excuse me. But anyways, so just if you have school age children, and spread the word, teach these kids that they do not have to talk to these people. I mean, if they're in a bad situation, by all means. I mean, I'm a supporter. If the child's in a bad situation, then yes, let them talk to whoever they need to make them feel safe again, make their worlds right. And I'm all for that. But if they're uncomfortable at all with these people, tell them they do not have to talk to them. You got to teach them. You got to instruct them. You got to get them ready for it, because it's coming. And I don't care who you are out on the street. I mean, you could be doctors, lawyers, politicians, guys running for sheriff. I mean, it doesn't matter. Or you could be a heroin addict, or you could be homeless, or you could be suicidal. It doesn't matter. They're coming to get your kids at one point or another, and they target you. You're done. They're going to get your child from you. You're going to have to deal with CPS. So spread the word. And we can't stop them, because this organization is makes way too much money, and there's too many hands in the pot or fingers in the pot. So we can't stop them, but we can slow them down. All right. And that's my only goal, is to try and slow these fools down. That's all we could possibly hope for. I mean, that's all we could hope for. But anyways, hey Corey, how you been, Corey? Talk to me, brother. I hope everybody's doing good out there. I hope everybody's had a good, safe holiday. I hope your New Year's and Christmas was good. For those of you fighting these evildoers through the holidays, I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you. Jeff Glazer, buddy, you and I think I'm gonna have a man crush on you. You just keep it going, brother, because I'm gonna have a man crush on you. You your sheriff stuff up. Keep your sheriff stuff up, because that's just starting to really get sexy now. I'm gonna get a man crush on you, brother. But anyways, like I said, I was born and raised in Michigan. I don't know if I have anybody up there that can help you. How close are you to Charlevoix County? I swear on F day that they're saying it's true, and when they're caught in a lie, then they're the ones that go to jail, losing their family instead of losing a child. Amen, brother. Because I tell you what, they would have been better off putting me in jail than removing my daughter. I would have done jail time in a heartbeat, but they removed my child from my home. That was a death worse than death. I mean, that was torture. I mean, literally torturous. I mean, think about it. What other mammals or other animals on this planet let something or somebody or another entity, I don't care if it's a animal, I don't care if it's somebody wearing a badge, I don't care if it's your neighbors, I don't care if it's aliens, who let somebody come in their house and just take their children out of their house? No one. I mean, there's squirrels don't do it, birds don't do it, raccoons don't do it, bears sure as hell don't do it, alligators won't even let you do it, and they're dumb as a box of rocks. Yeah, so I mean, there's no other animal or mammal out there that allows something or someone to come into their homes or where they live and remove their children without a fight. And I mean without a fight to the death. So we have to stop doing that as well. We have to stop just letting these people take our kids. And just remember, and this is from an old man. I'm 60 years old. And yes, I have a not quite a 2-year-old child. So oops, that happened. But anyways, so take it from an old man. All right. There's a million ways you can handle things. The most obvious way to handle bad things is not always the best way to handle bad things, if that makes sense. It's like I try to tell my wife, there is ways to handle this without involving law enforcement. Because once you involve law enforcement, whether stuff is true or it's not true, or if you're having a hard time keeping your head straight, or you're feeling unstable, or you feel like grabbing some drugs, or we are all human. Canceled my visit today with my daughter, and no one cares because she is sick but has no fever. Got to have my visit with my sons, though. I know that ID. We're all human. I know that ID from somewhere, like from my past shows. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to hear all that. I mean, that just breaks my heart, especially during the holidays. Yeah, man, I'm just so sick and tired of these people. Sick and tired of these people. Sick and tired of seeing what these fools can do. And the power that they have is just crazy. Crazy. But I gotta come up with a way to get the word out about these people and how to stop these people from getting any further up the, involving more families. I'm really thinking about taking this show on the road and going out and do on the street interviews and making sure people understand what these people are about. I just don't have any idea on what kind of software I need to edit film or video or that kind of stuff. I mean, I've got the phone to video. I just don't know if I have the editing skills to do something like that. But anyways, yeah, we got to spread the word. Folks, tell everybody and anybody. Like I said, I don't care who you are. You could be high society, low society, the dregs of society. You could be the most, you can contribute the most to any society, and you still can fall victim to these people. They don't care. They're not picky. And for the love of God, people, I don't know how many times I've told people this. Please stop posting pictures of your kids on social media. I swear to God on all I love and hold dear that these people use social media as a shopping list, or that's where they go shopping at. And the whole idea is to get your child into the system. And if they can find some way to manipulate a situation, they will. We are all human. I'm sorry about that. Oh, I'm Michigan, Jeff. You're talking to a Michiganian, brother. There's no system worse than the one in Michigan. From the front of the court, to social services, to that whole child organization they have up there. It's the world's worst. And they will destroy lives and families over that stuff in a heartbeat. So I bet you do have evidence. I bet you have a lot of evidence. And I bet you there's a lot more for you to get, brother. So just don't stop collecting and keep going. Like I said, I don't know how close you are to Charlevoix County where I grew up, but let me know. If you find some way to let me know, that'd be great. Like I said, my email is ncbartz. That stands for North Carolina. My last name, Bartz. But ncbartz at outlook.com. I think Grace can actually get that posted up in there somewhere, and you guys can email me. Email me all the information you have. I'm looking for people to come on the show and talk with me, tell your story, and tell me what's going on and some of the tactics, tricks, and tips that that CPS used against you. I would love to hear about it. I would love to talk to people about it. I mean, you're talking to the wrong guy. I mean, I got tased over this stuff, Jeff. Like I said, I mean, they turned around. They gave our daughter back on a temporary basis, where because of my brain surgery, I was a caregiver, so I had my daughter during the day, and mom had had actual physical custody of my daughter, but I was allowed to have my daughter. And I've got it all recorded where the prosecuting attorney or the district attorney's office for DSS and the director of DSS sat right there in front of me and said, "Look, we don't have a problem with you and your daughter, so you can have your daughter during the day. You can have your daughter during the day. So we don't have a problem with you and your daughter. But it's you and your wife. We can't have you guys together." So basically, they decided that the only way we're getting our child back is if my wife and I stay apart. I got news for you. I'd stay away from God if it meant getting my child back. I mean, literally. So, I mean, and my wife would do the same thing. So, of course, we both readily agreed to it. I don't think there's much love there to begin with. But anyways, long story short, so but we had to do this exchange at the safety exchange point, child safety exchange point, which is at the sheriff's department here in Gaston County. And the cop that was on duty one day was parked across the street in another parking lot, and he's supposed to be sitting right there watching the safety exchange point, but he wasn't. sitting in a different parking lot altogether, actually across the street. I mean, he had to actually park across the street, and then he parked deep in that parking lot. I swear to God, he was over there drinking. I mean, I can't prove it, but he was over there doing something he shouldn't have been doing, whether he was on his phone or drinking or something. But anyways, wife and I got into an argument, and this cop just interpreted it way wrong and decided that I was way wrong. Long story short, he ended up tasing me. I ended up getting tased, and because I ended up getting tased and went to the courts, I had court for my daughter like 2 days later, and they decided that I had to go back on supervised 2 hours a week supervised visitation. So they basically took her away from me, and the judge looked at me, and actually it's in my paperwork. Mr. Bartz, cops don't tase you for nothing. So I'm going with the police department. They tased you for a reason. So we're going to take your daughter away from you, put you back on supervised visitations. And so, yeah, I mean, that's it. That's how they roll. But they don't care about the rules. The rules don't apply to these people. They're above and beyond the rules. They don't care at all. They don't want nothing. They don't want nobody to tell them how they're doing wrong or what they're doing wrong, because they just don't care. Excuse me for 1 second. My daughter's trying to Skype with me while I'm trying to do the show here. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I can't Skype with my daughter and do the show at the same time. But I mean, like I said, they just don't follow the rules. If you think you know what is legal, and you think you know what's right, and you think you know what's wrong, and you operate, I mean, I'm old school. I'm a baby boomer. I don't know if that means anything to anybody out there, you Gen Xers or you millennials or anything like that. But I'm a real young baby boomer. I was born in 1963. And I think Gen X started in what, 65? But anyways, I was born in 63. So I was basically raised a Gen Xer, but I'm classified as a boomer. And in my world, everything's black and white. Right is right, wrong is wrong. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. That doesn't apply in DSS court, folks. It just doesn't apply. What's right could be right, but also could be wrong. What is wrong definitely can be right and definitely can be wrong. But they keep you off balance so much that you don't know what's going on. And that's another one of their little tricks and tactics. Excuse me. They get you fighting stuff that you don't need to be fighting. They get you fighting with your spouse or your significant other, or boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, lovers, haters, parents, neighbors. They have you fighting the wrong fight. They make you look over here, but yet they're smacking you in the back of the head over here. Okay, so it's just all about dividing your attention, get you spinning. I was an Air Force, United States Air Force air traffic controller. I was taught how to deal with stress. I mean, air traffic control is just a high stress job. I was taught how to handle stress, and I learned how to just dive straight into stressful situations, work it, work it, come out smelling like a rose. And even though you just waddled through a buttload of poop, you come out smelling like a rose. And these people spun me around. That's how good these people are. And this is how good they are, because they have the authority of, and they use the threats and this whole thing about your children. I mean, they'll use your children against you. Like you know, if you don't comply, Mr. Bartz, you're not going to see your daughter. If you don't say this and if you don't do this, then you don't love your daughter. You know what? Fuck you. You know, I mean, they try to pull that stuff all the time on you. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, then you don't love your daughter. It has nothing to do with loving my daughter. It has everything to do with me hating you. I mean, that's just facts. It has everything with me hating DSS. It has nothing to do with hating my daughter or not liking my daughter. It has everything to do with not dealing with you. Because I got news for you. I don't know where these people learn it, but if you give them, and I'm gonna oversimplify this. If they say you have to pick your nose every Wednesday at 3 p.m., if you love your children, you will pick your nose at every Wednesday at 3 p.m. and you fight it, and you fight it. So I'm not picking my nose to prove I love my child. And then one day you decide, you know what? You dig right in at 3 p.m. I mean, you go all the way up, third knuckle. I mean, you got that bad boy buried, and you're pulling out the biggest honker you could ever imagine. All right? And you give it to him. And you say, here, I did what you told me to do. I'm proving to you that I love my children because I went 2 knuckles deep and pulled out the biggest, grainiest booger you could ever imagine. So now I want my child back. And they go, okay, great. Good job, Mr. Bartz. We know that you love your child now. But now, instead of just picking a simple booger, you got to pull out some brain matter with that bad boy. And that means you got to go up in there with 2 hands. My point is, you give them an inch, they're going to ask for 2 inches. You're going to give them 2 inches, they're going to ask for 3 inches. You give them a second of your time, they're going to ask for an hour of your time. They're just going to keep right on going. They're just going to keep insisting that you do more and further. They're going to bury you with things that you need to do. All right. And they're just going to keep on insisting you doing more and more and more. And then you're going to hear terms like, well, go along to get along. God, I hated that. I tell you what, you want Mike Bartz to dig his heels in until you kiss his ass. Tell him he's got to do something that he doesn't want to do. Go ahead, tell him. Because I got news for you. I will dig in so deep and so hard and so fast that you won't know what's up and you'll think I'm gone crazy. Because I will not let you get your way. The minute you tell me I have to. I know that sounds terrible. And I know that's, what do they call it? You hate authority figures, which I'm good with. I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, they'll take 3 inches if you give them an inch. You give them any indication that you're willing to do anything that they tell you to do, they're going to ask for more and they're going to demand more and they're going to get more. They're just going to keep getting more. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just rambling on. Like I said, my name is Mike Bartz. I used to have a show with Mr. Davis and his company here a few months ago. I took a job with the local municipality, and I wasn't able to do the show anymore, so I had to step away. But because of medical reasons, I cannot continue the job, so I came back. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Thank you, Grace, for having me back. It actually feels good to be back. It actually feels good to get to talk to people again. Like I said, folks, email me. That's ncbartz@outlook.com. Email me if you have any questions or any advice, or if you need help with anything. And I'll try to get you all the help I can. Mr. Davis is an attorney at law out in California. He does consultations for up to 30 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour. And I think his banner is going underneath my picture there. If you click on that. Thank you, Grace. There's my email address, folks. There's my email address. Email me. If you want to come on the show, email me. Email Grace. Grace is the producer here. Yeah, so just reach out to one of us. And if you feel like you can contribute, or if you want to come on the show and have a little discussion with me and tell us a little bit about your story, and we can discuss some trips and tactics. There's Grace's email address right there. Give Grace an email, send her an email and request to get on the show. Or if you want to get in touch with Mr. Davis, you can reach out to Grace and she'll get you in touch with them too. So, and of course, there's Mrs. G. I don't know of anybody else that is still with us. I'll have to get up to date. But anyways, I know Miss G's still here. Miss G's a riot. You got to listen to her. She cracks you up. She's very knowledgeable, and she has Mr. Davis's ears. So, Miss G, Mr. Davis, myself, and I know there's another show out of New York. I'll have to get a complete list all up for you guys again, because I'm not sure where everybody is anymore. But anyways, but yeah, so email me, and if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to get them out, get them aired. I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be doing this at 7 p.m. I don't know if it's gonna be every night or once a week or what. I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's every night. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be just one night. What is this? Wednesday night? Yeah, Wednesday night. I don't know if it's just going to be a Wednesday night thing or what. But folks, I'm glad to be back. I'm happy to be back. Yes, I'm one of the lucky ones, and I feel very guilty about it. I feel very guilty that I have my daughter, but I'm one of the lucky ones. We got our daughter back from DSS or CPS. So yeah, I count my blessings. So yeah, she's back, which is fantastic. Nothing better than those hugs, y'all. So we survived it. I know it's hard, and I know when you're just starting out in this mess that it's hard to believe that you can survive this. You can, and you will, if you just keep your head down and just keep going. But yeah, so all right, Grace, let's go ahead and call this early night for my first night. I'm running out of stuff to talk about here. I don't know if you have any music anymore, but anyways, if you do, go ahead and cue it, and let's go ahead and bring this to an end, or just punch me out. One of the two. Reach out to me, folks. Email me, ncbartz@outlook.com, or you can get a hold of Grace and email Grace, and she'll put you in touch with me. All right. Love y'all. Peace. Have a good one.